Hi guys, welcome back to the Talking Dev. And in this video, I'm going to share with you something that I sat down and thought, what exactly will you tell to a 5 years old when she asks you, what is HTML and CSS? How will you exactly explain to this kid what it is? What is this HTML and CSS? So I gave myself that task, and the reason why I went to that depth is because I'm trying to film a short course on HTML and CSS, and I was thinking what are exact ways that I would go to explain to someone absolutely new, or even this 5 years old, what is HTML and CSS. Exactly what I did is that I tried a lot of things out. First of all, I went into analogy of building, roads, machines. And at the end of the day, I thought, no, these things are not as exciting. Think of a kid. What do kids love? Anything so. And my inspiration, I was inspired by this movie, this series, they call it Lucifer. And there's this kid that asked the dad to give her cakes each and every day for 365 days. In fact, it was a chocolate cake. So to me, and I thought, well, so let's bake cake. So that is exactly what we are going to do. If you have an apron and you have some cake's ingredients, let's go to the kitchen and try to bake a cake and try to compare that to HTML and CSS. This actually takes me back to many years when I was still a kid, and my mom usually used to let us bake a cake each and every Christmas. So I remember some of few things that we used to have. One of the ingredients we used to have is egg. And we'll have sugar, salt, we'll have margarine. If you're from Kenya, you'll say you have blueband. And you'll have wheat flour. That is almost like a must. And you'll have this baking soda, I think so, and some other sort of ingredients. And then once you have all these ingredients, you have to mix together all these ingredients, make a dough, and you stir that ingredient in a certain way. Technically, you don't do everything just randomly like that. And also, the ingredients that you're going to use, it will depend specifically on the type of cake that you want to bake. So for this case, you have to have a recipe, that is the steps that you're going to take. Maybe use 2 tablespoons of baking soda and maybe maybe 3 eggs or something. Don't use the yolk. All these rules until you get the recipe right, and then you're ready to mix and put that mixture or the dough to your tin and put it to the oven. That will be the last step. And then when you put to the oven, you have to tune that oven, give it the right setting so that it can bake. And you don't leave the oven for 1 hour. No, maybe 15 or 5 minutes, depending on the experience you have with baking this cake. Let's step aside and think about HTML and start thinking about these things, these ingredients in terms of HTML. HTML, on the other hand, is like baking this cake. You see, it has ingredients. These ingredients, we call them tags. So they are the tags. And if you've seen a HTML page, I have an HTML page open in my laptop right now. There is a lot of tags here that I'm using. There is a lot of even things that we call attributes. So when you're thinking about these attributes and tags, you're thinking about in terms of that cake, you're thinking about these ingredients that you're having, and you have also to follow set of rules. You don't just put these cake's ingredients just like that into that container and start stirring together, and all of a sudden you have a dough and put in the oven. No, you have to follow specific steps. And this is what, in terms of HTML and even CSS, we have specifications. And these specifications are the rules that we follow to write our HTML. Technically, we don't just write HTML just like that. We have to, they are the instructions. In fact, if you are thinking about HTML, you are thinking these are instructions. And you're thinking about, in terms of oven and baking the cake, you're thinking about, oh, maybe these instructions we give to the oven to bake this cake, they are the same like HTML and CSS. Yeah, we are given to our computer to process that. So, and you give it a period of time, and you structure it in a way, because even when you're baking this cake, you don't just put in every containers. You must have a certain shape, and maybe you want a cone shape, maybe you want a triangle, a rectangle. These are some type of decision that you have to make when trying to create a HTML page. Now that you have an idea how an HTML page looks like, let's look at CSS. You've just baked your cake. It is ready. You're 15 minutes over. The cake is there on the table, and you've just got it still hot. You're wondering, will we start eating this cake just like that? If I go back to my younger age, we never used to do that. What we used to do, we used to have this icing. And this icing, we not just do everything just like that. We have step. Maybe you get the egg yolk. I think it's the egg yolk, the white part, and you start with the icing sugar, and then you make something sticky and hard, so that you can start applying to the cake. And maybe you can decide you have maybe some colors, that is red and maybe yellow, depending on what look and feel you want your cakes to look like. And if you're thinking of something like a chocolate cake, it will have that brownish look for that cake, so that it can be appealing to that kid, and also that sugary feeling that a cake usually have. In terms of CSS, you're thinking about this kind of decoration. So CSS specifically, it's there to add this beauty on top of HTML. So let me show you a little bit what it looks like. So here I have my HTML page that I've already shown you. It is long, and it have all these text and funny characters. We call them tags, HTML tags. And at the back here, we also have our style sheets. We have these rules that we use to create our HTML pages or our website and web applications. So we have all these rules. Now, what happens when you put these rules together and start using them on a web page? But let's look at just HTML alone, the way you will view HTML without CSS. So I have a page here. Let me open it. So now this is the page. It looks like this. So this is the page. It have all that text. That's just pure HTML, nothing applied to it, except that beautiful video you've seen there. And now we have this. Imagine this is like that cake that you just removed from the oven. It's looks just like printing like this. Let's add some icing to it and see how it looks like. So I will change the page. Voila! Here we have the page. This page is exactly that page. Let's look on top here. Hello, I am Mark Njaroge, and now look at this other page. Isn't this beautiful? Think for a second. This is icing. This is chocolate. And this is the beauty on top. Those little things that is sprinkled on top of cake, this is exactly what we have. The berries that you put there and the sweets, this is exactly what we have. And whatever we have here, this we have our engine, this is our computer that have interpreted. We've given this code and instruction to our computer through the browsers has been able to interpret this one and provided us with these beautiful things. You see, we came from all this text, and before that, we had this one, tags, everything that we had tags. Things that you can think, what can we be able to think of these things? And here also we have that bare bones. And when we transform everything, here is what we have, a beauty. And that is what I thought it's best way to explain HTML and CSS to a 5 kid. Now that I've been able to explain all these concepts as HTML and CSS, maybe you are wondering what's the catch here. What we will do is that I will follow up with a small coursework that I have it in production, and I'm going to give it for free here on YouTube. I'm going to share with you how to build exactly this page step by step. It is a profile. I've actually set it such that it's read as my profile, but it will be yours when you complete building it. So I will take you step by step on how to build this page, and by the end of time you'll be able to build something like this. And I hope you are quite excited, because this is what we'll be able to do, moving from zero, from things that you may not be able to interpret by now, and be able to build something awesome like this page. So that course is coming soon. Keep looking at your notification and subscribe, because the coursework is there and it will come to you soon. With that, this is the end of this video. Look forward for the next one.